Hi guys, I'm the Impaired Grappler. Welcome to my podcast. Today's guest is a friend of mine from Sydney, John Smallios, who's a brown belt in the Pedro Sauer Association. So this is another Rollcast where I rolled with him. It was a bit longer, probably about 20-30 minutes we rolled, and we have a bit of a chat. So there was a few camera issues, a few technical issues, so bear with us. But yeah, the audio's still fine. We talk about how what he's working on, how he's loving the ground and running a school, body mechanics. We also touched on my purple belt grading and sort of validation and dealing with ego and stuff like that. He also touches on he's affiliated with Precision Nutrition, so yeah, he touches on what that's all about. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and we'll catch you later.
Jesus leaves me here by myself. God damn.
All right. All right, here we
What are
go.
we doing?
We'll look in that camera, or look in that one, but look in that one. We're just gonna, I'll just introduce it and then we'll try not to.
I'll look into it. Just keep my eyes on that camera.
If you want. Well, it probably will look a bit weird in the camera if you just stare at the camera. Just look natural, bro. Alright, let's start. Hi there, I'm the Impaired Grappler, and with me today is a good friend of mine from Sydney, John Smallios, who runs Higher Jiu-Jitsu out of Woolloomooloo in Sydney. So he's part of the Pedro Sauer Association. So he's a brown belt, and he's come to Melbourne for the weekend, so I got a chance to roll with him, and so we're just going to have a quick look at the roll and just a quick chat. So I'll try not to say as much this time, but
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
It's all good.
Hopefully it's
I'll
all
be
good,
saying
so.
a whole bunch as well.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome. And thanks for joining.
Handshake too.
Joining me. Yeah. Handshake too.
No worries.
A proper welcome. I'll give you a hug later too, so that'll be fine. John and I go back a few years, I think. Yeah, from when you brought out Steve Maxwell. You came down with Steve in a few years ago.
Couple?
2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, we met since then, and I've come up to Sydney a couple of times with Pedro Sauer and stuff, so come to your school, and you're doing great things out there. You got 60 students, you said now?
We have a bunch of awesome people.
Yeah, so that's
They're
awesome.
amazing. We do some really, really good stuff in Woolloomooloo.
So what's the new stuff you got you got going now?
Yeah, more of the same. Just beautiful jiu-jitsu happening. Refinement is just ongoing. It just gets better and better, Sauer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the better it becomes.
What lessons are you concentrating on at the moment, or any concepts that something that you're?
Yeah, most definitely. We've been working that side control with the anchor foot, and working all of the side control escapes.
Okay.
And pretty much just putting Pedro Sauer the philosophies into play.
Yeah.
With working with the ground. We've been loving the ground. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We've been loving the ground, and then just creating those frames, and then just working from there. So just being safe.
Become friends with the ground.
Yeah, just love the ground. The ground's your best friend, right?
That's
so
right.
You just,
it's always there.
No, but you love it, and then you find these beautiful frames with your foot. And I've been studying, structures of the feet as well, and seeing how you can navigate that, and how the connection of the hip comes down to the foot. Because I don't know, Phil does it where he puts the knee right into the hip. And there was a good question the other day about whether the knee comes all the way down. So we're looking with this closed guard escape.
Yep.
And on the whole, we've been doing side control, and it's been awesome.
Okay.
It's been so good.
Cool. No worries. All right. Well, we're just gonna play this roll that we did today. It's a bit of a longer one, but we'll just have a bit of a chat during, and we don't have to commentate the whole thing. So this is just from the start. It's 20 minutes long, but we'll just talk over it. while everything's recording.
Your
So
foot's alright so far. I don't know. I was. I don't know. Like this December, it was a little bit playful here.
yeah,
But I didn't want to give you my head right
yeah,
there.
and then but we kind of fell into it.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
where's your mouth guard, bro? Come on.
Come on. I don't know. The more I roll, the less I kind of feel the need for mouth guards. What do you reckon? Do you wear a mouth guard?
I do wear
I don't
a
know,
mouth guard. The thing is,
just don't hurt me. Don't fucking.
no, it's not
Take
about.
your elbows, like, just be nice, and hopefully accidents will be alright. You know, if you keep playing playfully, like the way we did, you know, and it was like that was an accident, and
It's an
accidents
accident,
happen. That's true.
Yeah.
And you know, it's probably good. It's a good idea to wear a mouth guard. I just don't
The thing is with
don't do it so much.
with an
I have it there,
with an impairment, I'm prone to more accidents in my role. So
Yeah.
I would advise if you're going to roll with me, there's going to be some
See
time
that?
to
That's the
pass.
the knee pass, not the far knee pass, like with the knee raid. So rather than coming in and always that way, you can come with this foot.
Yeah, I tried to use that crossface to get you over, but you were having none of that. But yeah, it was a good roll. I didn't have my full equipment to wrap my hand up, but I was just holding the tennis ball, and I think I lost it around here somewhere. But
Do you ever feel compelled to use the arm?
well, I do use the arm more and more, but not the hand. I try to keep the hand out of it. But I'm going to start gradually using it more and more in my rolling and like practicing, like with the started to try just like drilling the collar choke and stuff like that, because
Oh yeah.
I can articulate my wrist a little bit more than I could even a year ago, 6 months ago. So it's much freer now. So, but I need to be careful, and it's like, you know, you only need five pounds of force to choke someone. Do you want me to drop it or?
Drop it. There we go. Damn. Nice one. So that's which elbow is it?
It's this elbow. Yeah, this elbow. This elbow's getting a live treatment here, folks. For
Yeah,
those
yeah.
just listening.
Look at that. We're going softer. Better. It's because like
It's tensing up.
yeah, that's what happens. Like, you know, and then when you're here, and when you're trying, you know, these collar chokes. Feel what's happening at this point. If it's going through there, or if it's happening through here as well. Because as you pull that, and when you start to use the wrist just a little bit, the forearm becomes a little bit softer. You start to find a lot more movement through the rest of you as well. Can you feel that happening through there? And if you're in constant like tension through, like, I'm starting to sound like Steve Maxwell, aren't I?
Yeah, probably.
Hey,
mates, if you're in constant tension
No,
through
but
your...
see what you're doing
I
now.
can't
is like,
really do it well, but...
yes. See, and the point is not to like squeeze the muscles and make the muscles go stronger and like pop the veins out. It's just to find movement like through the bones.
My veins just pop out anyway every time I do something.
Yeah. I used to do it as a kid. You, like,
But yeah,
squeeze.
I'm going to start using the hand more, slowly. But I still protect it for the most part. You never know when you roll, like accidents happen, and like especially rolling with a third limb, like, you know, I'm prone to more accidents. Like, obviously not deliberately, but you know, I can't brace out, or I might stop falling on one side, or I can't sweep on one side. So, and because I'm doing such weird stuff, people I'm with don't recognise what I'm doing, so they don't. You know, so they might think I go one way and then they go the other way, and they might cop a knee or something accidentally.
Yeah, we have a very distinct game, and that's the thing. I was just kind of learning it the last time.
The last time you rolled.
No, you move nicely. It's really cool because I put my arm in my belt for a while there, and that was so hard. And you were like catching triangles because I had just one arm was just dangling.
Yeah.
But you need the arm to dangle sometimes because, like, the base, like, you need that base. But there's just one arm there, so You do a really good job of yielding, you know, and like you're right, you give up a position.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm always going to be on the
or
bottom.
at least, you know.
So I'm comfortable on the
Yeah,
bottom.
but that's it.
But
You know,
I'm not trying to. I don't try to find it
You
down.
don't try to force.
But you know.
I want to see what I do with my foot here. What happens with my foot? Because Mr. Stephen Grapsus, thank you, buddy. He gave me some beautiful tips yesterday about hiding the feet from mount, and it's a concept I heard from the professor.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, you know, it's something that I can learn a little bit more about, and Stephen gave me some beautiful details.
Yeah, but
I think that was before this was the day class, and I learned at night. But no, I kind of, Dave helped me out as well, Camaria, because he was talking about bringing the inside of the ankles on the ground to kind of like splay the feet out, so that the person can't catch the foot.
Yeah, the frog feet.
Yeah,
frog feet.
yeah,
Pedro
and that's a concept of
yeah.
Pedro's as well.
Yeah,
and it's just beautiful, and that's why they sit like that. I can imagine if you film Pedro, it'd probably be like this.
Yeah, he's like on the mount. He's
Dave as well. He's like we call it like duck foot.
Yeah,
which means that he has like, what would it be? It'd be like his ankles would be inward. And
have you seen Roger's feet? Roger's kind of like duck feet.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have a tendency to like.
And he just like knocks off,
pushes.
grabs those triangles, slaps them on.
He does well. Mr. Roger. It was nice. It was such a beautiful time, like going to Leverage and coming into your school. And seeing Phil, like, just seeing, like, you know, the environment that he's built.
Yes.
Because he's done a good job, man, and he's so awesome. You know, just, you know, because part of running a school is, like, there's a lot of little day-to-day chores and decisions that have to get made. And it's nice to have someone to kind of throw combos with, you know? And so there he is.
Yeah,
Big Phil.
Yeah.
So we have the mount right now.
We've got the mount.
And then you had that, and I don't know, that's something I get caught more than I want from mount.
With the cross choke?
No, as in I get bridge and rolled. It happens. It's happened before.
Yeah.
And so...
well, that's a bit of the Pedro frog feet. You got to sort of practice a bit of that,
and that was another thing.
It doesn't come straight away.
No, it doesn't. But that was another thing that I learned yesterday from Stephen with the cross stroke. He said he grabbed, and Phil as well, because Phil came in like while we were drilling, and like gave me another tip, and that was like he put the arm in, and then he dropped the elbow like all the way to the other dude's armpit, that way, and then came over the top whilst putting his head down, but also putting his hips in. So it's not like him headbutting the ground. It's him just like dropping his chest down with it.
It was a good lesson. I like the way you get the hip into the...
That was like a little bit of work there.
Yeah. I was using my legs to defend that arm the whole time. But yeah.
Well, so Higher Jiu-Jitsu, look at that patch. That's a nice patch. I like that. I'm proud of that patch. That's a nice one.
I'm glad you like your own patch.
It's but you know, it's like, hey, it took so long. It took so long to get that happening, you know. And then, you know, we had like the commune logo at first, and then we went a little bit like we had the High Health logo, and then, but this one came out of it, you know. This is the important one, and this is the one that kind of we went with and we ran with, and you can think about things, you can talk about things, but sometimes things just happen.
This was a lesson tonight, but I didn't really clear that arm properly. If I used the other side of the hip, it would have been better. But anyway, we don't really need to talk about the roll. We can just talk about concepts since you've got to leave in 20 minutes or however long.
No problems, because this looks really, really interesting. And maybe I can I have this footage? Oh, look at that. Yeah, but then
I got the other.
You did a good job of dropping your shoulder to the ground. Hey, Marco Wu, shout out. I don't know, do we do shout outs on this show?
If you want, yeah.
Does that happen?
Marco Wu! We love Marco Wu, he's awesome.
Is that what happens at Senshi? Yeah, well, he was like Leverage. So tight, awesome. Like, because, you know, elbows in, locked in, like, you know, it wasn't very good defense.
He seems like he's a very, very friendly guy, but he seems like
was giving you my foot there. You could take that foot.
Yeah, I know. But I don't like. Yeah, they don't want to use that.
See, I was like, it looks dead. Looks like it's ready to be
I wanted to pass your guard, just to make sure. It was all good.
What's happening over here?
Just making sure it's still rolling.
Oh, the De La Hiva. Also got to be careful. Oh, see that?
Yeah.
You got to protect that knee sometimes.
Mm.
Oh, I like how I brought my head out.
And triangle, my friend. That's a bit of a darker angle. I think I'm having a chat with Phil here. But yeah, it's
Phil's
like
probably in the air right now.
Yeah, like on his way to Greece.
Yeah, I'll be going.
Damn.
2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now.
So it's
can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait. It's gonna be good. I love Europe. I love the Mediterranean.
Oh yeah, like just the water there. It's
just the thing around there and the food.
It just feels like home. You go there. You don't feel the pain of your sore joints or anything. You just go to the beach every day. You got the sun.
I don't know. I have Big Yanni from Kalino, and I think I'm gonna hit him up for a bit of training while I'm there. And I have to protect my limbs.
Yeah.
Because one sniff.
Protect your joints.
Yeah, but he'll take them, you know. And yes, we need to protect our joints. Because these are the only joints we have.
Well, yeah, and I think in Greece they do a lot more of the heavy wrestling game as well. I think.
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit. Maybe
That's what
Jiu-Jitsu's
that's what I noticed.
But yeah, and then you got the Gracie Baja guys.
Mm.
I trained over there. It was so beautiful because you're in the academy and you're rolling.
And they're all under Dracolino.
Yeah, Dracolino. Yeah. He did a seminar in Sydney actually yesterday.
Okay.
And Nick went. But yeah, so like you're in the Gracie Baja, you're rolling, and you look around, and the Parthenon's just there, like illuminated, just looking at you, and it's like, wow, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, you go up the top and roll on the top of the Parthenon.
That was a nice sweep. That was the one over my head. I like that sweep.
Mm.
Sometimes like it's a matter of that hand, working that hand, and my friend Shahar does that better than like anybody. You think like you're fine in his half guard. He's like, I'm fine, and your arm goes, and it just takes you.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Look, Jiu-Jitsu is just endless. So.
That foot could be up there a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to keep it.
Just that.
Well, I don't know what I'm trying to do actually.
No.
I'm just trying to survive. Yeah,
no,
you
man,
got my head and arm choke there, so I'm like.
How was that?
Yeah, it was on, nice and tight, the way you had it. Like I'm supposed to roll into the choke to get out of it, but I really need to drill that because it's a bit hard to do it with the one arm. Usually you've got my good arm trapped with when I get the head arm choke with the good arm. Yeah, it's a bit harder to do that escape where you actually roll into the choke yourself more for a second to get out of it.
Yeah,
but, there's certain techniques are a little bit difficult for me, but I need to sort of figure out, okay, what can I replace it with? Can I find some other way, or do I just need to be a bit more mindful avoiding that situation? But
what is that the same mission that everyone has? You know, is that?
What do you mean?
So this is it's the same thing. Like, you know, we all got to avoid danger.
We all
got to put ourselves in a good position where we're not vulnerable to being injured. And I think that takes an injury to realize and to appreciate.
Yeah, it
takes. It really does. You know, and you're the impaired grappler over here.
I think I actually got you there. With a triangle armbar setup.
Yeah, nice one.
But
that was
Like what? Yeah, I like doing that. So I keep it and just stretch.
I don't know.
Hold the arm and stretch out without the lock over. But it works sometimes.
Well, you were grabbing that arm. It was nice. Hey, so Stephen showed me a beautiful trick from the closed guard. It was so nice. I was like, what? It was beautiful, because he brought his hips out and then posted with the arm and then grabbed the head and then just put the knee outside of the elbow.
Yeah.
And then hook that triangle up.
Yeah, it was a good fun roll.
See, here I'm crossing my legs because that's like a Dave Camarillo trick.
Here I'm holding
Dave's
my leg.
awesome. Actually, September, I gotta hit him up.
I'm here. I'm holding my leg, which is a Impaired Grappler trick.
You're holding it. Oh yeah. Hey,
So
that was a
you
nice
can't
defense.
so
Because I was
you
like,
don't-
fuck.
Yeah, because like you think I'm not actually using my strength. I'm just using my frame and just lock my hand in. You have to break through the actual arm to break it generally. If I've got it locked off, but then like when you change and adjust, then I have to adjust, and then you can get my arm. That's how it usually works if you go for a choke or something.
Oh right, okay.
So I think you're just talking to Phil here, I think, while I'm defending.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's like it's a pretty powerful defense, but it's more of it's not a proper, in terms of self-defense jiu-jitsu technique. It's more of a transition place because I just get stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to use my other arm unless I can get it like I tried here. Try to get under your arm, and if I can do that, I might be able to get out. Like I think I might have been able to get out there, but then you adjusted and then you adjusted and fixed the armbar. Then you got it. Then I was still trying to use my legs, but I couldn't
See,
get.
see my right foot. I feel like I'm not. Yeah, that's it. So what I've been
Then
doing.
you got it away from my legs, and as soon as you got it away from my legs, it's on. So.
But the thing that I've really been working on and like honing has been that top leg over the head in the armbar.
Yeah.
Because if that's like solid and heavy, then armbars happen.
And you got to have the shoulder control, especially in side control. If you don't have
that's for sure.
the shoulder and here,
I feel like my head is a bit too flexed there. That's something that I always see every time I like when you take footage of me rolling because I get to see all my patterns. And I think I really enjoy this this flex position here, and then I see that my head, I have like a lot of shortening here in my neck.
Yeah.
See how kind of my back kind of rolls over a little bit, and then my head comes up.
It's like kyphosis.
Yeah. Steve
was talking.
Hey.
Steve Maxwell was talking about that, the kyphosis of the spine.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that. I've probably got a bit of that.
Well, see that pressure I'm putting in from the ground. See, that's what I've learned. That's what I feel like I'm getting better at. I feel like I've really improved. I just feel jiu-jitsu a lot better.
Yeah, I had good control for the triangle, but you were able to get out of it.
I think it's
turn out of it in the end.
It's just, I feel like things look a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I think me wearing socks was a big letdown in this role. I lost a lot of traction wearing socks because it's so cold in Melbourne at the moment.
Oh,
I've been rolling with socks, but I've
freezing.
I've also been rolling with socks to kind of do to try to have more connection with my opponent.
Okay.
To not rely on just my feet. I want to use my legs and my thighs and my knees, my ankle, like my shins. You know, the shins and the foot's like a hook. You know, you sort of try to use the feet more like hands.
Yeah, well, and that's what the professor does so well. You see him even in his movement. When I see him like just squatting during his seminars and like on his phone, and he's just like in just a perfect squat.
Here you're going for like you're not going to get a Kimura on me from there.
Well, that's a position I've been working with, so I was just looking at different avenues there. There's something I wanted to play with, but I'm glad that lesson came at the perfect time today.
Yeah.
Tonight's class. It was so good, and I really want to go over it again. But I could have... Yeah, because see, my chest is up now. I need to drop my chest. That's what Stephen was doing today. He was like a blanket over me.
Yeah, but if you drop the chest, then sort of everything's got to go back. Like your hips have to be back.
Exactly.
You can't drop the chest with your hips.
And then
there.
you find that extension, whereas I was only in flexion then.
But
Too
like
much
you got to
flexion.
I've sort of figured out. You sort of like do that, but like you sort of sink into the ground. and you got to like almost lie on the ground, being underneath your like being lower than your opponent. When your opponent's trying to get under you to dig under you, you put your body lower than him.
Yeah.
So it's like you just sink sleek into the ground like a cat.
Yeah, like the ground. It's like your best friend.
Mm.
Yeah, I love foot sweeps. You guys some nice little foot sweeps. There were a couple tonight that I was
It's a bit easier for me in the no-gi, especially to defend against other people.
See, that's that's nice.
Nice back take. Yeah, like it was a good roll. Always, it's always a pleasure. But yeah, like you've improved a lot since last year. So that's for sure.
See,
Another tap there. That was like what was that? The Baranaro choke you just did on me, I think.
Maybe like if you haven't trained with someone for a while, you get to compare where they were at before, how they feel before, and how they feel now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see like a little bit. Like I see things.
The last time I rolled with you.
Like,
yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, sorry. The last time I rolled with you, like, I don't think I was myself. I felt like I was on the adrenaline for like months after my grading.
Oh right.
I was like on like
yeah,
and going in like
I felt that one
rolling hard against like it's like I'll last for 5 minutes and then be like tired, but it's like this adrenaline dump. I just rolled hard, like stronger than I've ever rolled before and better. It's like, oh okay, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Just felt this powerful change, but anyway.
It's funny like how the belts, like sometimes I was talking about that with with Luke, my student, and he just got his blue belt, and he's like, he was talking about, I think it's just important just to maintain that white belt mentality. You know, that's the most important thing with all the belts. You know, so whether what's going on there?
No, I'm just making sure it's on.
So like, see now my thoughts gone. So like the
belts.
Yeah, with there's an element of everything just being a skeleton, and and you've got a different color belt around your waist, but at the same time you're still the normal person, like you're still just Sauer, and you still have the same tools that you had available to you yesterday. So that's how it is, but then like there's an other part of it that adds, and it's like you felt that, the adrenaline rush, like after being graded in front of like 200 people by Hicks and Gracie and Pedro Sauer and Phil Grapsis, and it's like it's beautiful to see.
The thing lasted. So
it does give you power. It's like you look down, you see this belt, you're like, oh, okay. And so I think you kind of work in your belt as well. There's a nice little stage where just kind of getting used to it, and then it starts to feel like home.
Yeah. It's definitely been different. It's the first time in my life I've actually listened to this self-confidence voice in my head that I always thought was arrogance and was always scared of, but I do have certain things to contribute and whatever. So I've learnt a lot, and I know I deserve that belt. Otherwise, is Hicks and Gracie a liar? Is my instructor Phil a liar? Is Pedro Sauer a liar? No, then I can't not trust in my self-confidence, in my self-belief now. It's the first time in my life, and it's sort of given me a bit of power just in itself. Just from that. So,
exactly. And like, and up until that point, like you earned that, and that process got you there to that point, and that's beautiful when you're anointed like the purple belt. And that's all good, and that's beautiful. And then it's like you still have to wake up the next day and go to training again, and keep training and keep learning. So at the same time, nothing changes that much, So it's just funny, just the process that we go through in jiu-jitsu and how much energy you put into the belts. You know, because that self-confidence, why did you need a purple belt from Hicks and Gracie to be self-confident? You know,
No,
like,
look, that was
was
just
that the thing that was lacking, or
no, I was slowly I was slowly going down that path, but it was just like it was like a 1 in a million. It was like winning the lottery to me, and that just sort of smashed through any kind of stupid little things in my head. Oh, you know, you're not good enough. You know, you're not worthwhile. You're not this. You're not that. It sort of just gave me validation, and it's like, okay, well, I know that doesn't mean I'm the best martial artist in the world and that I can, you know, I can do everything that every purple belt can do, but that's not what it's about. It's about I'm on the right track, and I am a martial artist, and the greatest martial artist ever in terms of how I feel graded me, and then that's an honor, and I've got to live up to sort of earn that, so
yeah, and the thing is, like, you've already earned that, and it's like, this is where you're starting, and it's like a clean slate again that you're starting, just like it was a clean slate before, so like it's always just the same Sauer, and it's
a new chapter in my life.
Exactly. No, but I also feel as though the chapters previous amounted to that chapter, and that was just like the tip of the iceberg. So in one sense, okay, that helped you along, but it didn't like give you the tick in the box that meant that, like, okay, Sauer is good now. Sauer has now deserved his purple belt, because whether you got it from Hickson or whether you got it from just Phil by himself, it would have still been equally as validating, because it really is. Eventually, you just realize that it is just a belt, and you're beyond just what the belt is. Because what is, you can like identify yourself. Okay, now I'm a purple belt, and there's like so much that goes into that thought as well. And then you're also just like a person, and it's like that person has been growing. That person has been getting better on the mats, and that just culminated in the purple belt. And so I was ready for it then. Like, that was the right time, and that's when it happened. I was actually, I've been, because I actually, before that, I started getting clarity in my life, and I started to, I knew, okay, I want to start my new business, and I want to get into photography, videography, and all that. So I was working towards that, and then that happened, and it just sort of supercharged, like, my kind of my thinking, or like sort of validating my my path that I chose, sort of thing. So it all seems good. But all right, where were we? We'll start again. Where were we? I don't know. We're talking about your purple belt and being anointed by the honorable, the lion, the Leon, Hicks and Gracie, and Pedro. Pedro Sauer. It was like equally just so awesome, Well, I owe it all to my instructor Phil, and to Professor Sauer for organising that. So it was a very special moment in my life. It was like a very powerful. Really awesome. And you were there, and I had no idea. I actually thought he was going to grade someone else. Right. I went to Phil. I'm like, should I go get my camera? Because Hickson said, you can record this bit. I'm like, do you want me to get my camera to record it properly? He's like, no, he's like, sit down, you idiot. Yeah. Like, all right. And I sit down, and then all of a sudden, Hickson calls me, because like, it must have looked like that everyone thought that I knew, and I was getting, and I went up for some reason, and it's like, sit down. It's like, what? And as if I knew, but it's like, I had no idea. Oh, right. And then he just walked over. He looks over at me. He's like, "Oh, okay, stand up, my friend." It's like, what? What? It's not something that, look, you don't expect it. Who expects to get graded by Hicks and Gracie? And that's, I'm still speechless about it. It took me 2 months to sort of actually be able to just, my body to calm down from that moment. So what makes you so proud to be graded by Hicks and Gracie? It's just
the fact, it's sort of a validation, and and like, for the first time you get sort of recognition of work that I've done, which I've never really got before, and that's something that was,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, powerful.
Alright.
It's just,
Cool. So like,
it's hard to explain.
Cool. So why did you feel validated having been graded by Hicks and Gracie?
I don't know. Well, there's before that, like I said before, the voice in my head, the self-confidence, the arrogance, and I always have had issues with confidence and thought, and not knowing whether my martial arts is real. It's like, I'm doing all this stuff, and like, I'm trying to do stuff with one arm, but it's like, at the end of the day, am I just kidding myself? Will this stuff really work if someone, if I've only got one arm, even though I can use two hands, and in a life and death situation I will.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter about pain, obviously, but it's like squashing that voice in your head that says that you're a fake, that you're a phony, and that's sort of been with me my whole life, and I've always wanted to sort of not be not being arrogant, like at the expense of everything else, kind of, almost, and so I stopped doing that. So it's for the first time, and I don't know, it's a hard thing to put into words. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's not something that so many other people go through and experience and punish themselves so much, just hopefully to get something out of it, and not knowing, but then finally I've gotten things out of it, and I know that there's more I can get out of sort of jiu-jitsu and everything. So, but anyway,
no,
that's
that's
a
awesome,
long-winded answer.
Yeah,
but,
because that's what happens when you start seeing these people at like the cream of the crop, the elite in their fields, and you start studying them, and the fact that like right now they're in our palm, like their whole lives are in our palm right now, and so you start seeing that, and then you start seeing that perfect image, and then you compare it to yours, and you're just like, oh well, I don't have all these skills, I'm not fully mobile, I don't have their athleticism, I don't have like their looks, I don't have their body shape, I don't have everything they have, whatever, and then that's how essentially like you compare it to them, and then you see there's like this big kind of difference there, and you're like, oh well, then I must be shit, so that's why I need validation, and that whole thought there through your head, that fraud, like you said, like you feel like the fraud, like that's that whole process working right there. And you said that like a lot of people go through that. I think most people go through that, and that's the difference. That's why like everyday people is different, is distinct from these elites, and that's why like when you're always looking to the next big hit, to come and to study how they do it, and to focus on the top 80%, like it's tough doing that, because you fail to account for all the things that have to go on in between, all the day in day out stuff. They're the things that like really really help to ingrain the bigger ones. And so every day you're dealing with that thought in your head, what the fuck am I doing, like why am I training? I'm training right now, like why should I be training? I need and that's why that validation comes about, and I need to be validated, because you could like you see yourself and you're not quite content with where things are right now, and you want to be over there. And you always want to be over there, but that's the problem. Like, you're always over there. You're always trying to reach out, and you're always going to be trying to go to the next point, and the next point, and the next point. And that's why,
but it's better to try to get to the next point than just saying, "Oh, forget about it," and being nihilistic and just not worrying about anything.
Well, that's yes, exactly. You know,
Not
exactly.
moving.
Yes, most definitely, and that's something that I always kind of hit on as well. And then, you know, in PN we have like this, what we call the spectrum, like the food spectrum, you know, where things aren't a dichotomy, things aren't either or. Things are on one side, they have a scale. So they're on one side of the scale, they're on the other side of the scale. You know? And that way, it's not always this way, it's not always there, it can be somewhere in between. And that way you're not always aiming for 100%. And that way, you know, you're talking about improvement. Yes, we have to improve, and we always have to improve. But if you're like, let's say, you know, on your scale, this is the end of the scale. Okay, that's the other end, and you're there on this finger, and you're always looking over all the way down there. Then it's like, fuck, that's a long way. That's a really long way to look. And Tim Ferriss and like all these, like, you know, Marcelo Garcia and all these like big names, these awesome people that we revere. You know, they're all there. And then you're there and you're like, oh fuck, you know. But then there's like so many people back there as well. But you, the fact of the matter is, like, this is where you're at. Let's take that away. You know, that's where you're at, and that's where you have to where you have to start from.
Yeah, you got
to build.
Yeah, but if you listen to the Tim Ferrisses and those people, they break it down. This is how I succeeded. If this works for you, go for it. You know, these are the lessons I've learned, and then okay, take on board whatever you get from them. You know. But
yeah, and that's it. And it's like, yeah, and they talk about, like, if you look into their process, I'm certain that you're going to find little increments as well. Like little itty bitty pieces that they've pieced together themselves to get to where they are.
Well, it's a martial arts mentality. Drill, 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 and you learn. It's like Musashi, you know, study 1,000 hours of technique and 10,000 hours of refinement, or whatever it was in the book of Five Rings, which I'm reading at the moment. That's where I remember it. But
so 10,000 hours of technique.
It's like no, you study the 1,000 hours of technique, of like learn the techniques, and 10,000 hours of refinement of those techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can learn the syllabus.
But that's it.
You learn the 300 moves, whatever it is on the syllabus. But then it's like, okay, well, you can do these 400 moves or whatever it is. You can do these moves, but from these moves, it's endless. It's infinite.
That's exactly it.
It's
totally.
It's an art. It's a martial art. It's an art form, you know.
That's why things are always growing and moving forward. And you know, if you always, the issue is that the bastard in this situation is when that thought in your brain just doesn't go away. You know, like, and that thought can sap away all the fun and all the joy. That thought that you were saying, you know, before you were a Hicks and Gracie purple belt, Pedro Sauer purple belt, those thoughts in your head that you're like, oh, you know, I'm not there yet, I'm not validated, you know, like, they sap a lot of energy. They take energy. There's energy going there. Of course. You know, it's like a fire. You're putting wood in there through those thoughts, and that thought is like festering and it's sitting there.
Yeah, that builds up.
You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people live with that. A lot of people live with that, and it's hard because it goes back to like how you see things, you know, and how like you perceive things in your own brain, and until things change for you.
And they usually have to. They every time for me they've changed dramatically, like a dramatic event, and then it's like okay, I'm snap out of a way of thinking, and I'm this way of thinking now, you know, like from relationships and from other stuff, you know, you learn new information that, like, your whole idea of yourself and yourself in relationships and in other places, the whole idea of yourself is different to what you actually act out. Like, you think you're different than what you are, and you think you're a good person, and you are a good person, but you don't act like a good person. You don't go out and help people. You don't help people, but you're a good person, but you don't do anything good. You know,
Yeah, well,
you're yelling at people in traffic. You're yelling, you know.
Here's another one in jiu-jitsu. Like you think you're all light, but then ask any of your partners, and they're like, "Oh fuck, man,
Oh,
yeah, sure."
That guy,
You know,
like, yeah.
There you go, and that's like that's like critical thinking as well, and kind of that's why I think it's important to kind of look outside. Hey, I read this book I was like, I don't know, 22 or 23, Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, and that's where like, we're talking about that before, like the concept of the ego, and like he taught me, and like I kind of from that moment I was like, wow, it was so profound that I thought, wow, what's happening in here isn't the whole universe. Like this is just part of another universe, so you're looking at the individual, looking at yourself through the eyes of somebody else, whereas and I guess narcissism perhaps is when you just can't see that. You can only see what's happening solely through your own two eyes, as distinct from what's happening around you as well.
Maybe, but isn't narcissism more they just see so much evil and suffering in the world that there's no point to it, so let's just destroy it all.
Yeah.
Basically, burn it all down. Let the world know my suffering, kind of thing. Isn't that more?
Yeah, well, yeah, and so with that concept, like, of the ego, always bringing it back to the I, like, oh, I need to be better, I need to do this, I need to do that, and then once you see that you're part of, like, a whole, like another part with other people, and you're just one aspect of this team, then you get to see that, like we were saying before with Pedro, a rising tide lifts all boats.
That's right.
And that's how I think you can work with that thought in your brain, where it's like where things kind of just always go towards the negative, veer towards the negative, and if you can look, that's what I was saying, like if you can look critically at yourself and what you're doing, you're becoming aware of what you're doing. That's the important part. Like, that's the critical thinking. Like, hold on, I'm drinking water. Well, that's the letting go of the ego. Am I thirsty?
Or is it it's...
But the ego is a part of you. It's always a part of you. Yeah. So how do I let go a part of me? Like, I have an ego. I have an ego.
That's what I was trying to say. I have ego. I was trying to tell you before about we all have our own conflicts of interest, all of us. And you were saying, but what do you mean about us? About you and me? Well, it's like we all have our own internal conflicts of interest, our own internal hypocrisies. So you need to recognize that first and understand, okay, I can be a hypocrite, I'm a hypocrite, whatever. Understand that first, and then in actually seeing and understanding that you're a hypocrite, and knowing that there's evil and good within you, and like the same evil and good that's in every single person out there that's done every single evil and good thing in the world. If you can't, like knowing that there's that within you, and understanding that, and not just denying the evil, not just denying the fact that there's evil within you, then it's like it'll come out. If you try to hide it, it'll come out and manifest in other ways, through anger, through whatever, through hatred and whatever. It'll come out in other ways.
Exactly, and it's there, and that's why you say like reconcile, as in like, hey, okay, all right, dark side, we're here. And okay, you are there, but there's also the good side. And I like the good side. So let's work a bit more on the good side. Yeah. Let's throw a bit more fire in that good side.
Yeah.
So then that brain, going back to thinking about, hey, I'm not good enough to wear this belt. I'm not good enough to do this, or, okay, cool, you're there, awesome. Take a break again. You can sit on the sidelines a little bit more, and you kind of willingly choose to go a certain way, and that way those conflicts of interest within you aren't fought. They're like, they come to a nice agreement, a mutual agreement. and that way parts of you aren't fighting with each other. Parts of you are working with each other.
It's
And
order
when
and
you work
chaos
with each
working
other,
together.
yes, and when you work together, that's when like mountains move. You know, that's when life, like that's when things really, really click.
Yeah.
And that's like everyone has conflicts of interest, and it's in how we work with them. I think that's the importance, and that's beautiful, because like that can kind of govern how all of this life works, you know. And we do have different motives either way, you know. And there's always unlimited amount of wants.
Yeah,
So
and where did those wants and motives come from? You know, is it your thoughts or the thoughts of society imprinted into you, or the thoughts of your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors? Well, whose thoughts are in your head that are thinking these thoughts? Where do these? But that's for another discussion.
No, well, it's like,
but yeah,
whose thoughts are they? And it's like,
or are they the thoughts of the bacteria in your stomach?
You know what well,
yeah.
Who is thinking those thoughts? You know, who is thinking those thoughts? And you're like, oh, my head just went there. See what I just did there? Like I was like, oh, my head just went there. As in, like, you're looking back and you can see that your head goes to those thoughts. So that's like another layer that comes into it.
Yeah, I reckon there's like epigenetic memory that we have from our ancestors. I reckon there's a lot more to be discovered in that epigenetic memory, and I'm starting thinking this as I don't know if there's anything to it, but just recently, like if you walk in the footsteps of your ancestors, so you went back to your grandparents' village, and worked in her fields.
Andisa Mitilini is my papuz, and Ayu Vasilin Kalino.
And then you you do that, or if they're probably, are they still alive? Or like even your like my grandparents aren't alive, so what I'm like, just in terms of this analogy, like I'll go back to the village and live like my grandfather for a while, and then like I'll go to his farm and farm his water his roses, tend his crops and whatever, and in doing that will unlock some epigenetic memories from him from an earlier time, from when he was doing that. And look, I don't know, it's a bit woo out there, but like, who knows where the memories in epigenetics comes from. But that's a bit far out for today.
No,
but yeah, that's just like, a thought process I've been having lately. I haven't really reconciled.
Cool, and like there's like, alright, you know what I take from that? I'm like, alright, how can that help me? Like, how does that guide me? How does that help me? How does that help you quell or bring together your conflicts of interest in your life or in life?
I'm not sure it can. Who says it has to, and who said, like, I don't know if not all conflict of interest can be reconciled. Like, some of them probably biological, I would imagine, but yeah. So my brain started to get a bit fuzzy.
No. We said that. No, we were talking about this yesterday, and you were saying like biologically we have conflicts of interest. Like biologically, as in when the baby is born, a baby kind of doesn't really. A baby knows exactly what it's doing, and we develop conflicts of interest. We're not born with conflict. Like
maybe
inherently, perhaps as the species, we can be born with like issues and problems. But as like a human baby is born, it comes. It's almost like it's like that same white clean slate, and then as like the hours and the experiences, and the memories come about. That's how these conflicts of interest become born, because the baby picks it up from the parents, and it picks it up from the environment and the programming, and like as you say, and the system, that's how the baby has developed into like a human being, into an adult who does have different like conflicting parts of themselves, and that's, I guess, part of life, in how to kind of work and navigate through those conflicting parts. But I think jiu-jitsu can really help that as well.
It does help a lot. Look,
jiu-jitsu can really help that, you know, because like when you can't fight yourself in jiu-jitsu and you can't fight your opponent in jiu-jitsu, you can only work with each other. And so working with each other and like synergy.
And you're dealing with an underlying truth that everyone understands is true. There's a base truth there that we know, okay, I just choked you out, you tapped. The truth is I could have just, that was like, life or death. Yeah, I just beat you. You know, like, and then that feeds ego and all that. But anyway, I think we've got to go now, so we'll call it there. That's right.
You sure?
Yeah. No, we've got to get you back to your parents to go to your wedding tomorrow.
No, well, I had my card. My card's out.
Your cards?
My dad left the card.
Okay. So keep going.
We'll do another 5 minutes.
Oh. 5 more minutes, guys.
Another 5 minutes. No, because I'm interested in that because like you can take a thought, and you can like. This is what I do is like there's times that I catch myself doing this where, the clean of the bathroom. Okay, me and my wife have these arguments all the time because I am content in the bathroom just to like. Get the duster and just kind of like, no, okay, this is what I do. Like, actually, truth bombs are coming out where like, I get like the toilet paper and I'll go over the bathtub and just like wipe off all the dust. And I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, it's clean. We're good. And my wife's like, no, you idiot. Like, you gotta take out the bleach and you gotta jiff it and then you gotta put hot water over it. And then like, it's like this whole big process. I'm just like, you could have just gotten like toilet paper and gotten over it. But that's the thing with a lot of things. Like you can take ideas and you can take thoughts and you can just gloss over them and just like study the surface of them and just look up there. You can do that with all of jiu-jitsu as well, you know. But then you can go into every layer and then start like peeling it down and further and further and further, you know. So when you talk about something, when you say like, hey, like, you find that interesting and we want to add that, like. Talk about it because it's like,
and when you talk about it, it's like you might be halfway through a sentence and then saying, I had no end to this. I was hoping that it would come, but don't just ignore that thought. That was a stupid thought. You know, like you don't know it until you actually speak it out or write it down. It's like that's a stupid thought, or wow, that's actually profound, or whatever. Yeah.
Well. Yeah, so here's one thing that I'm trying to work on, like with PN, and it's like.
So what's PN for the listeners out there?
Precision Nutrition is a company based in Canada, and it's run by Dr. John Berardi and I don't know if it's Dr. Phil Caravaggio, and they've built. From just two of them working apparently like in a basement, they've built into the largest nutrition coaching company in the world. And they've taught me everything I know. I did the level 1 course with them, the level 2 course with them, and now I'm taking a bunch of our clients and our students through their platform of the lean eating program, you know, and I'm kind of coaching them through that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, part of our work together is me learning how to coach and how to coach people to work with themselves, like, and it's currently like, you know, officially in the realm of nutrition coaching. But I was talking with my client today and we're talking like how you can't distinguish nutrition coaching from like psychology because everything is in psychology. Everything is grounded in, you know, how we think about things, and that's how philosophy is like just so important to this, and that's how you can take one like little detail and like delve like deeper and deeper and deeper. But the thing is, I think with communication, I think it's really important, and this is what I tend to mess up with this, or I do this regularly, is like when you have a thought and when you're talking, I just think of the thing that I'm going to say next. And that just, it makes me completely forget and not think about anything that you're telling me.
Yeah.
And I'm not listening to you. I'm just here sitting in front of you waiting to talk.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem that I have. It's like,
well, you see conversations like that, and they don't really, like, there's no substance in them. You know what I mean? And I think that's with everything. Like, hey, I can take everything and put it back to jiu-jitsu. Okay,
that's right.
You can do jiu-jitsu. Like, you can have like a blue belt like teaching jiu-jitsu, and he has the moves. He learns the moves from YouTube, and their moves look like jiu-jitsu moves. They smell like jiu-jitsu moves, but they don't feel like jiu-jitsu moves. And there's nothing there. They're not effective because there isn't that substance behind them. And that
they don't have that connection.
Yes, there's a process behind everything, you know. And I think that's why it's so important to peel back how many things you're doing, you know. I've had like a to-do list with like 30, 40 things to do, and it's like it's insane because you don't know which one to go to work on. And that's why like you kind of just tend to dabble from one topic to the next interest to the next interest to the next interest.
Well, that's why like,
which isn't bad because like that's kind of more of like you get to experience different things and different aspects of things, and at the same time, like as a result of that, the opportunity cost of that is not being able to go deeper into certain things. Maybe because you don't have confidence in yourself to do that. Maybe because you don't have the knowledge to do that. Maybe you don't have the attention to do that. Usually it's like...
but I think it's a good thing. I think Tim Ferriss said concentrate on 3 things. 3 creative projects. Like, don't take on more than that. Like with regard, like three major things that you do, like jiu-jitsu, work,
That's 2 of yours. How many do you have in your life right now?
No, I'm just saying, like, just in general, like, you get 3, you know?
I have, like, I know, that's like Leo Babauta, the power of less.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know who, like, originally created that, but it was like, he talks about the MITs, and that's what Tim Ferriss talks about, most important tasks. So you have 3 projects at any point in time, and then every day you have 3 MITs, the most important tasks that you'll do throughout the day. And I like that, and I try to kind of navigate my day like that. Like, see, right there, like, that train of thought was gone. But, like, so that was, like, at any point in time, I'm supposed to have 3 projects. I currently have about 30 projects, you know, and they're there, but slowly I'm trying to kind of get them out and get them on paper.
Yeah.
But getting just realize that I have 30. Yeah, but when I realize... Yeah, because that helps me realize that I actually have 30 projects.
Yeah.
And then I tell myself, hold on, 30 projects don't work. Like,
I've got like 100 projects written down there. It's like,
that's exactly right. And then that's how you just dabble and don't do any of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, look at like really effective people. And they're not online, like my father-in-law is just, that dude's like, he's so effective. He says he's going to like fix a tap. And he fixes the tap. Like, that weekend, the tap is fixed. And it's like, oh my Lord. Like, he said he told us he was going to, like, fix our screen. You know? And then, like, that weekend, he comes and he fixes it. And it's done. And it's like, wow, he's so diligent and effective, you know? And I think, but you look at him and you look at how he navigates his life, and it's always like just, he doesn't do much.
Everything the right way.
He doesn't do much at all, but when something comes up, like, he'll do it. And it's like, there's a lot to learn there. Because
it's all about that efficient learning. That, you know, that's like I was telling you before.
Efficient learning, and evenally doing. You know, efficient doing.
But you
can be stuck in the learning. That's what you were talking about. You can be stuck in the learning the whole time. Just learning, and never going about the doing.
Yeah.
So those footsteps are probably gonna. Like,
yeah, that's right. Whatever. I don't care. It's fine.
What do you mean you don't care?
No, I'll fix up the audio and that'll be alright.
How do you fix up the area? But that's like...
Why are you asking me technical questions during?
I don't know, because like I'm interested in it, because...
Well, I'm going to run it through the...
Is that working?
Yeah, I just turned it back on.
That's working?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to have like the Higher Jiu-Jitsu podcast coming out. That's why I'm asking you technical questions. And that's why...
It'll come up, those footsteps.
They'll come up, for sure.
Yeah.
And that sucks, because I could well be... I'm going to be listening to this, like, coming home from the academy, and I'm going to hear, like, your footsteps. I'm going to be like,
when you run it through the filter, you adjust it. There's ways to adjust the audio.
Alright.
And those little steps, you can cut it out. Anyway, I don't know.
Well, yeah. So that's why I'm gonna go on Fiverr, and I'm gonna I've got like a podcast editor. Is that turn off now?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, keep
so
going.
I have like a podcast editor where I can just send him like a sound file, and hopefully he can take all the background noise and kind of minimize it and shit. Yeah. And that way, I don't have to learn Adobe and all that stuff that you were talking about.
Don't go down that track. I just have that program, so that's why I use it, because I've got the access. So don't want me to learn another program if I've got access to one program. But like a lot of people just use Audacity, and I think that's the easier one.
Yeah, well, I've downloaded that. I downloaded it, and I ran one through it, and I don't know, listening to myself talk, it was really odd.
It's never...
it was cool, you know,
it's always
and
hard.
I'm going to do it, but I just want to do it when I get back. I don't want to kind of... I don't know, I'm going in a couple of weeks. There's no need to kind of commit to it now, because, you know, we're talking about, like, consistency. I just want to be consistent with it, and I feel like if I tell my audience... Like, if I tell, like, my students and everybody that, hey, I'm going to have a podcast to you every Wednesday, then I want to, like, commit to that. I want to show up every day, because that's how people will respect what we do, you know?
Yeah, that's it.
And I just, that's what I really want to aim for. I want to try to kind of do a little bit less, but do it better.
Yeah. Well, that's the aim of life, isn't it?
I don't know. Not necessarily. Maybe it's a method. It's a way of life.
All right. Okay, I think we'll leave it there.
All right.
So, where can people find out about you?
Are we still going?
That one's going.
All right. Well,
about the Higher Jiu-Jitsu, just go to the website, your Instagram feed and all that.
Yeah, Higher Jiu-Jitsu. It's all there. Higher Jiu-Jitsu, always higher.
All right, no worries. All right, cool. No worries. Well, I'll put the links to the site there, and thanks for that. And all these cameras are going off, and that's all right. All right, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time. Us. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Alrighty, guys, that was my Rollcast with John Smallios. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed doing it. So be sure to check out the links below to John's social media, website and all that, as well as my social media. And like, subscribe, share, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.